Every day, something dramatic happens in the Caribbean that affects our lives. We'll give you the details. We'll give you the facts on Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick. Here's Eddie Frederick.
So glad you can join us. Men preying on children in a Jamaican community. This story takes the lead in today's edition of Caribbean Perspective for Wednesday, 15th February 2023. Details when we return.
Hubbard's Motor Department Mount Gay and Hubbard's Tire Bay, located at the Building Supplies Compound in Grand Anse, are reminding the motoring public that another round for licensing and inspection has begun. Just arrived on new shipments of quality furrowed and torque tires to fit all makes and models of vehicles at competitive pricing. Shop early to avoid the hassle of long lines. WhatsApp them on 473-405-5482. Hubbard's, quality service, affordable prices.
Welcome back. Disturbing reports were men preying on children in some Clarendon communities in Jamaica. TVJ News has more.
We're just saying to the men to leave the children alone.
Stop it. That cry from the police to men committing vile sexual attacks against children in Clarendon. The head of the police division explained that children of all ages are at risk of falling victims to the predators.
We are seeing too many babies that are being molested by adults, and it is very distasteful. Seeing ages from 5-year-old being molested by adults.
Detectives are investigating the cases to try and nab the predators, while the respective state agencies have been called in to assist.
We are trying to reach out through our community activities. We are using our Sissoka department to do varying lectures and sensitization in the communities.
Parents also have a big role to play and are being encouraged to become more vigilant in how they supervise their children.
Sometimes, in some of the cases, it is same family members, persons living in the same household that are the perpetrators. So some of the mothers just need to be careful how they are leaving their children and who they are leaving them with.
One local government representative, in the meantime, asked the police to investigate a worrying trend emerging in some of the crime-hit Clarendon communities, especially those in and around the parish capital, Maypen.
It is something that is getting stink. These criminals, and why I say that, these criminal agents are boogering these boys, and sometimes as a local government representative, and when you're privy to certain information, what they're doing is boogering these boys to show their strength. And the parents cannot talk because they're a bad man. So they use that as a form to quiet persons in neighborhoods. And these parents are not talking any at all. Some of these parents don't even know what are happening to their kids. They do that in order for them, when they get them into these gangs, they cannot leave because they don't want others to know what has happened to them. So they use it to quench them and to quell them, to get them to do the things that they want to do as a gang member.
Aisha Nation, TVJ News.
In the meantime, the Ministry of Education is working to address violence in school protocol. Javon Keys of TVJ News reports.
Some news in education now. The ministry is working on a policy to help address violence in schools. Minister of Education Favour Williams said the policy will include input from the Justice Ministry. She gave the update at a restorative justice conference on Friday. It follows several recent violent attacks at schools, some of which have been recorded and posted on social media. The attacks include students targeting teachers. Now, last year, there were also several deadly attacks at schools in rural and urban areas.
We are finalizing the protocols for when students fight in school, to take those students and their parents or the adults in their homes and get them through restorative justice sessions so they can understand. Yes, you can cheer for that. We need to get the perpetrator and the victim in the same space talking about the issues. And I know it works. I've seen it at work in Augustown Primary School.
In other news, the political drama involving two recently elected members of the Nevis Reformation Party has resulted in statements from each aggrieved party. The saga surrounds issues of who will be designated the leader of the parliamentary opposition in the Nevis Island Assembly, as well as the selection of a senator for the opposition benches.
Dr. Janice Daniel Hodge, political leader of the Nevis Reformation Party, was elected for the first time to the Assembly in the December 2022 Nevis elections and joined re-elected MP Cleon Stapleton Simmons in the House. But it was soon realized that there was an impasse between the two MPs regarding MP Stapleton Simmons' support of Dr. Hodge for leader of the opposition. On 10th February 2023, both MPs commented on the issues involved. Dr. Daniel Hodge wrote in a statement, quote, "The Executive Committee of the Nevis Reformation Party took a decision on December 29, 2022, that I, as party leader, should be appointed the opposition leader. The Honorable Cleon Stapleton Simmons was made aware of the executive decision and was requested to advise the Governor General of her support for me as the opposition leader in furtherance of the decision of the executive. While I will not go into details of the situation at hand, it is with regret that I inform you that to date, Honorable Cleon Stapleton Simmons has not complied with the request of the Executive Committee to sign the letter. As such, the Governor General has not appointed an opposition leader. As leader of this party, therefore, I wish to advise that the Honorable Cleon Stapleton Simmons has been conditionally suspended from the institutions of the NRP pending the findings and recommendations of the NRP Disciplinary Committee," end quote. Meanwhile, MP Stapleton Simmons spoke to the matter during a radio call-in show aired on Freedom FM 106.5 and hosted by Junie Liebert, suggesting there might be pressure being placed on her to support the NRP leader.
And the leader stated that I have been suspended, which I think everyone knows now. I can confirm that. I'm not sure what is the basis of the suspension, but, that is a matter that will be dealt with in due course. Like I said, we live in a democracy and we have to all compromise. If it is that it's two persons who have to make this decision at the end of the day, I believe that, we must expect conduct and behavior and sensible action and mature action from both persons, not just one person. Like I said, there's no absolute rule. We live in a democracy. We are guided by the Constitution of St. Christopher and Nevis.
Simmons said she will make a formal announcement soon. Glenn Bart reporting for SK Newsline.
You're listening to Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick.
The St. Lucia Marketing Board has opened a new retail outlet at the Castries Market. The new store offers a fresh take on produce shopping for locals and visitors. Zane Romulus of the DBS News World reports.
The grand opening of the St. Lucia Marketing Board retail store follows the appointment of a new board to head the organization. Under the chairmanship of Senator Daniel and Managing Director Vincent Lacominier, the new board intends to restore the SLMB to its former glory and create viable opportunities for St. Lucian farmers both here and in external markets.
The opening of the St. Lucia Marketing Board's new retail outlet is more than just establishing a storefront in the city. This new location signals a fresh start for the St. Lucia Marketing Board. At the core of our function is to market the fresh produce supplied to us by our hardworking farmers. This outlet will bridge the gap between farm and kitchen, making healthy eating extremely accessible to the average St. Lucian and to our visitors.
The previous SLMB outlet was closed down to make way for a Box Park project. The reopening of the store has been attributed to a collaborative effort involving several parties, including the Castries Constituencies Council, and Exports St. Lucia.
I got a call from Sunita Daniel on a Monday morning. And she said to me, Mr. Minister, we need a meeting. I asked, what about? She said, we need that place right here. I arranged it. I put aside everything else I had to do and arranged it for the Wednesday, 2 days after. And at that meeting, I spoke to the previous occupant who had everything still inside of there. And I asked him, what do you want to leave by weekend? And you remember, Madam Mayor, he said a rent reprieve. I said to him, consider it done.
Assistance was also provided by the Embassy of Taiwan.
Since 2020, we have assisted the St. Lucia Marketing Board to enter into a contractual arrangement with 60 local farmers to stabilize the produce and farmers' income, thereby enhancing the marketing strategy and strengthening agricultural supply chain for the Marketing Board.
Agriculture Minister Alfred Prosper expressed his desire to see the facility exceed the growing demands of its consumer base and that of the agri-food sector as a whole.
I'm hoping that this new retail facility will not just be selling the very same commodities that we are seeing in the back of us by our vendors every day, but it will be a retail outlet that will attract the tourists, the young people that will be able to walk into this facility and not just purchase our fresh fruits, but they can also purchase items in terms of agro-processed items, CMOS, and a number of other well-deserved fruits and vegetables that we need in our everyday life.
Moving forward, the revamped St. Lucia Marketing Board will place increased focus on exports and value-added products. For the DBS News World, I am Zane Romulus.
President of the Bahamas Society for Human Resource Management comments on the importance of human resources and training. Lloyd Allen of ZNS News has more.
With numerous job fairs organized in recent weeks aimed at providing work opportunities for the unemployed, it's clear that many Bahamians remain challenged in finding gainful employment. But as our Lloyd Allen shares in this report, turning your 9-to-5 job search into a satisfactory opportunity requires a team effort.
You want to ensure that you are presenting the best version of you.
President of the Bahamas Society for Human Resource Management, Isora Cumberbatch, suggests becoming a highly skilled professional is but one component of a productive company, coupled with a progressive work environment established by an ideal HR department.
As HR professionals, I always say that we are gatekeepers for our respective organizations. And it's very important for us to set that charge and to ensure that companies are not just meeting the business goal of the company.
Cumberbatch says training is also a vital part to improving the workplace.
You'd find in some organizations, training is the first thing that they want to cut. They say that, oh, we don't have the money, we don't have this. But yet, on the other end, you expect to have a star employee. But if you're not investing in that employee, you're not pouring into the employee, then what do you expect to get at the end?
She says even if those opportunities are limited, today's average professional is expected to come equipped with a number of skills, critical thinking being a team player, along with digital media navigation considered essentials.
The challenge, though, with that is that you see some persons, they want to get into a company, but of course, most of the application processes are now online, and people don't know where to begin. I don't know how to do this. I don't know that. So basic digital skills is something that you need to have. You need to be able to navigate a computer.
So regardless of your profession, finding a company that helps to sharpen your skills while being a driven employee makes a difference in surviving today's workplace. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen.
Hubbards is once again innovating the way you shop with its new online store, providing 24-hour shopping convenience. You can shop now for appliances, hardware, houseware, building material, and more. Free delivery island-wide. Start shopping now at hubbardshardware.gd. Safe, convenient, reliable.
I am Eddie Frederick. This has been Caribbean Perspective, a whole new approach to highlighting developments in the Caribbean. In the meantime, please continue to log on to CaribbeanPerspective.com for more daily news and more.